Hey everyone, Sundowner here, and welcome back to another exciting installment of Aliens Colonial Marines.
They have a Marine from the ship supplying them with information. Whether under duress or otherwise is unknown.
From our ship? They kidnapped a Marine off the Sephora, sir?
Wrong ship. He's from the Sulaco.
I don't understand, actually. All Marines on the Sulaco were KIA.
Negative, Winter. One is alive, and they're moving him soon. We don't leave Marines behind. Mission to follow. Actual out.
So we're still on this god-forbidden planet, and we're still on the quest.
What, the first wasn't suicide enough?
We volunteered. You know we don't leave Marines behind.
Yeah, but I didn't sign up to die for somebody else.
No, dickface, you signed up to die for other Marines. Whatever happens to me, promise you'll try and evac the captured Marine.
No.
Promise.
Promise.
I never understood that mentality of signing up to die for other Marines, and I don't believe that's a value taught in the military, at least not in a general sense. I mean, of course you want to care for the livelihood of your squad mates, your fellow soldiers, your fellow man, but right now all they know is that there is maybe a Marine, maybe even not a Marine left for them to save, and they're just running into heaps and heaps of aliens in order to find out, and it may not even be true. And all the while they're breaking the lore and logic of the films, and insofar as the alien impregnated in Bella, because in the film it takes practically maybe minutes to an hour for the alien to fully gestate and then burst forth from the chest, but in this game she's lasted, I'm going to say, at least 4 or 5 hours, if not more, just based on the logical time frame of things here. But of course they got the green light to rewrite some of the lore here and retcon some things, so I suppose I have to let them away with it for now. And you have to wonder where these aliens come from. I mean, I'm going to spoil it. It does explain where these aliens come from specifically. I won't get into the details because I'll let the game do that. But even with that in mind, it still doesn't really make sense to me. As per the 4th movie, now I haven't seen it in many years, but I recall it being somewhere in the region of 200 years after present. They have to clone Ripley in some way, and subsequently the alien inside her, and that's the only way, and they being Weyland-Yutani, that's the only way they could possibly get the aliens back and into their control. So the fact that they're establishing now that Weyland-Yutani is doing something with the aliens in some way, why couldn't they just keep doing that? Because by the end of the game you're going to see that it doesn't really make sense that they suddenly failed this mission and had to wait 200 years before they could clone Ripley once again and do more evil things with aliens. And even then you're going to see that it doesn't make sense that this is even possible within the logic and understanding of the science in the movies, but we'll get to that when we get to it. I'm getting ahead of myself. And this is some of the trouble you run into when you try and retcon something that has been around for 30 or 40 years. You tend to overlook some details that kinda don't line up, and it's understandably really difficult to retcon and to rewrite lore and still have it succinct and fit in with the rest of the whatever it may be part of. But even still, just watching the movies you could have worked out something better than this.
Tagged another one!
Hey, how you feeling now?
Not good.
I'm gonna get that thing out of you.
Stop saying that.
Why?
Because you don't know what this feels like. Shut up and keep your eyes up.
So we're approaching the facility that's supposedly going to help Bella get rid of the little baby alien in her belly, and somehow I get the feeling that's not going to work, because in 4 movies, and I would imagine comics and novels, they couldn't really work that one out, so I guess we'll find out.
There's one in the chamber, and that's it. Do you remember our agreement?
I do.
Alright, don't hesitate. We got another Marine to rescue you. You don't need me holding you back.
You make a fucking sound, and your brains are what they find in the garbage tomorrow. Not if you understand, asshole. Bell, lie down on the table. She had one of those face huggers. Left a baby one in her chest. How do you get it out?
You can't.
Wrong answer!
Please. Trust me. We've tried to extract the gestated life form.
O'Neill, just let him speak. It's okay.
The embryo will extract fluid and nutrients from the host to construct a placenta, but it's not like a human's. The placenta is like a weed, rooting itself into every organ in the chest cavity. Look, even if you could surgically remove the embryo, the placenta it's like a cancer. Your organs will begin shutting down one by one, and then you just die.
Winner, knock him out.
O'Neill, I can't. Is it hot in here?
Hey, Belle.
Hey, Nugget.
It's okay. Just close your eyes.
You get that Marine? You promised. Get everyone off the planet.
Hoorah to ashes, Belle.
Hoorah.
That was our agreement. Sulaco Actual. This is 2-1 with an update. Do you read?
O'Neill, Jesus, where have you guys been? What happened with Bella?
That's a negative, Actual. We did not meet our mission parameters. The subject didn't make it. Requesting hostage extraction parameters. Over.
Are you sure you...
Just give us the damn orders, sir.
Understood, 2-1. The captured Marine is being moved to a Weyland APC in the interior of the compound. You'll need to temporarily disable the power module to create a distraction. Don't get killed doing this.
No promises. 2-1 out. My promise was to...
So now he's totally cool with dying over Marines, but before he was hesitant. Okay, I mean, I guess that was really horribly emotional and struck him, and obviously the player, really hard that Bella had to go and die like that. But I guess that's the way life is in the Aliens universe.
Activated. CN-20 will be released in 10 seconds. 9, 8. Emergency containment protocol aborted.
Now this is where we start getting into the quote-unquote explanation for why there are somewhere in the region of 500 or more xenomorphs on this planet. So there you go. Weyland-Yutani have been pulling humans from somewhere. A bunch of humans, just generic dudes from, I don't know, the planet down the street. And from somewhere they managed to create 500 aliens. Because as you know, the logic is, in the movies, is that in order for a xenomorph to be formed, or rather the xenomorph that we are familiar with, the bipedal slithering on the walls with the almost humanoid shape, the only reason that looks humanoid or feels humanoid is because it's impregnating a human. So if you don't know, the xenomorphs actually take somewhat of the form of what they impregnate and what they bury their little eggs in. And that's why we get human looking xenomorphs. So keep that in mind for when we get to some of the later stuff in the next update and the following update. But there you go, that's roughly why there's 7,000 million aliens on this planet and why they are so abundant and why we are constantly having to fight them. You know, instead of being creative and working out ways to make a few aliens more intense rather than making it intense by virtue of the fact that there's just so many of them, it's so overwhelming. But again, that's asking far too much of the game, so who really knows. But now the task is to gun down a bunch of bad guys, because that's exciting, right guys? I mean, you enjoy shooting people, don't you? You don't like horror, or intense thriller situations, or having your psychology messed with. No, you like gunning people down. I like gunning people down. Everybody loves gunning people down. Let's put it in all of our game. I'm just ranting now. Not really, I'm just leaving the record button going and ranting about this damn game. Alright, so I made it through a bunch more rooms, killing a bunch of guys, and now we're actually ready to leave and potentially go and save this elusive Marine. And then we can get the hell off this planet and finish up this LP. But not before one of these run between cover turret sections. Oh boy.
Tracking hostiles.
You know, it's really hard for me to edit this LP because I'm not kidding, 80% of all the footage could be cut out and you would still get the point. I could cut out the next 10 minutes of footage and the context, the consistency, the flow, everything about this game would be the exact same. And that is just telling of the game itself. If you have a game where you can literally strip out mounds and mounds of content and still have it make complete sense, regardless of how sensible it is in the first place, kinda got a bad game going for you there. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna cut to the next section because you don't need to see any of this because it's more of the same. I don't want to waste your time because I actually care, unlike this game. So after all of that, you come to this control panel because there's a conveniently placed crane right above the armoured vehicle. And do you get a cool manual control section? Do you get a controller that goes and try and drop it precisely on top? No, it's just a fake loading screen and an animation. That's all you get to do. Fun. I gotta say, I really feel like I achieved something there. It was a lot of hard work, but we did it. Hey, it's more broken AI, just what I need to make things, oh, so much easier.
I can't do a simple shutdown because the backup module will cycle back almost immediately. That won't work for us.
Backup's a no-go. Got it.
I'm pretty sure if we crack the regulator caps of all the cells and power it down, backup module will cycle and attempt to juice these cells.
Which will blow the whole system. No power to any of the security measures.
Right. It'll fry everything. You take the bottom ones. I'll get the ones up here.
And now there's just a boring section where I have to run back and forth and destroy a couple of power outlets, and I mean, they could have thrown in a xenomorph here or something to make it slightly more intense, but as it stands, you enter the room, shoot the one guy guarding it, and then hit the QTE or whatever it is to break the thing, and again another fake loading screen, and then go to the next one. Why couldn't they have just done something here? Just throw in literally one stalker, like one of those aliens that just hides in the wayside and comes out and gets you. That would be fine. That would make it all the more vaguely interesting than it currently is, but I guess not.
Xenos will overrun that fence in minutes. You sure you want to do that to all those people out there? They won't have a chance.
I guess they should have thought of that before their actions led to the death of 300 Marines. Do it.
Damn, O'Neill's getting cold. I like it. I like that our character's actually kind of developing here, even if only slightly. And there's the lot. That's the end of the mission. Next up, something vaguely interesting happens. Or not. You never know. You never know.